The sun was low over the busy city road when a small crowd gathered near an old repair shop. The shop was not big. Its paint was faded, and the signboard hung slightly to one side. Many people passed it every day without looking. Inside the shop, a single dad named Sam worked quietly. His hands were covered in grease, and his shirt showed signs of many long days. Sam was not rich. He lived a simple life and worked hard to care for his young son Leo. Sam had learned about cars from his own father when he was very young. His father had no big tools or fancy machines. He only had patience and sharp eyes. Before passing away, he taught Sam how to listen to an engine, how to feel the vibration, and how to understand problems without computers. Those lessons stayed with Sam. After his wife died from illness years ago, Sam became both mother and father to Leo. Every morning, he made breakfast. Every evening, he worked late so Leo could go to school without worry. That afternoon, a shiny red sports car stopped suddenly in front of Sam's shop. The sound of its engine was loud and sharp. People nearby turned their heads. The car looked expensive, the kind that only very rich people owned. The driver stepped out. He was a tall man in a clean suit. His name was Victor, a well-known millionaire CEO. He owned many companies and loved fast cars. He was proud of his success and liked people to know who he was. Victor looked around with a frown. His car had stopped working in the middle of the road, and traffic was building up. He had called his assistant, but the nearest luxury service center was far away. Sam walked out of his shop and calmly looked at the car. Sam said in a polite voice that he could take a look. Victor looked at Sam from head to toe. He saw the small shop, the worn tools, and Sam's tired face. A smile of mockery appeared on Victor's lips. He laughed lightly and said that this car was not for small street mechanics. He said it needed experts, not someone who fixed old cars for poor people. People nearby felt uncomfortable. Sam did not reply with anger. He simply nodded and said he understood. Still, he asked if he could listen to the engine for a moment. Victor laughed again and waved his hand, allowing it only because he had no other choice. He crossed his arms and watched, ready to laugh more. Sam opened the car hood carefully. He did not rush. He listened closely as Victor tried to start the engine again. Sam placed his hand near the engine, feeling its movement. His eyes narrowed, not in fear, but in focus. In his mind, he remembered his father's voice, telling him that machines spoke if you listened properly. After a few minutes, Sam closed the hood and calmly explained what he thought was wrong. He spoke in simple words. He said the problem was not big. It was a rare issue caused by a small imbalance and a sensor problem that confused the system. Victor raised an eyebrow and laughed loudly. He said even trained engineers took hours to find issues in such cars. He asked Sam how a poor single dad could know more than factory experts. Sam stayed quiet. He asked Victor if he could fix it within 1 hour. Victor laughed harder and agreed, making a joke that if Sam succeeded, he would pay anything. The people watching whispered among themselves. Some felt sorry for Sam. Others were curious. Sam went back into his shop and brought out a few tools. They were old but clean. He worked slowly and carefully. He adjusted parts with precision. He cleaned connections that others might ignore. He did not replace expensive parts. He corrected what was already there. His hands moved with confidence built from years of struggle and learning. Victor kept checking his watch, shaking his head, and smiling as if watching a show. He made calls and told his friends how a street mechanic was wasting time on his car. He felt powerful and entertained. Inside Sam's heart, there was no anger. He thought of Leo waiting at home. He thought of school fees and dinner. He focused on the engine like it was a puzzle that needed respect. After some time, Sam asked Victor to try starting the car. Victor smirked and sat inside. He turned the key. The engine started smoothly. The sound was clean and strong. The crowd went silent for a moment. Victor's smile froze. He turned the key again to be sure. The car responded perfectly. Victor stepped out slowly. He looked at Sam with confusion. He asked what Sam had done. Sam explained again in simple words. He said many people depended too much on machines and forgot how engines truly worked. Victor felt a strange mix of surprise and embarrassment. Still, his pride stopped him from saying thank you properly. He paid Sam quickly without looking at him and drove away. As he left, he laughed again, telling himself it was just luck. The crowd slowly disappeared. Sam cleaned his tools and closed the shop for the day. That night, Sam returned home. Leo ran to him and hugged his legs. Sam smiled and lifted him up. They ate a simple meal together. Sam helped Leo with homework and listened as Leo talked about his day. For Sam, this was real success. Meanwhile, in a bright office filled with glass walls, Victor sat with his team. His car issue still bothered him. He replayed the moment in his mind. He remembered how confident Sam was. Victor brushed the thought away and focused on business. Early the next morning, Sam opened his shop like every other day. He did not know that the repair he did had been recorded by a traffic camera nearby. He also did not know that the car data from Victor's vehicle had been sent automatically to the manufacturer's system. At a large office far away, engineers from Ferrari reviewed unusual data. They saw that a complex problem had been solved without part replacement. They were shocked. They traced the location and time. They saw that the fix came from a small street shop. One of the senior engineers shook his head in disbelief. He said whoever fixed that car understood engines deeply. They decided to make a call. Back at the small shop, Sam was fixing an old family car when his phone rang. He wiped his hands and answered. The voice on the other side was calm and respectful. The person introduced himself as a representative from Ferrari. Sam thought it was a joke at first. The voice said they wanted to talk to the mechanic who fixed Victor's car. Sam's heart beat faster. He looked around his small shop, confused and nervous. He asked if they were sure they had the right number. The voice replied with certainty and asked if Sam could meet them. Sam held the phone tightly. He did not know that this call was about to change his life. He only knew that the skill he learned as a poor child and used as a single dad had finally been seen. And far away, Victor had no idea that the man he laughed at was about to be called a genius by the very company he admired most. Sam stood inside his small shop holding the phone for a long moment after the call ended. The noise of the street felt far away. His hands were shaking slightly. He had never spoken to anyone from a famous car company before. He looked at his old tools and the oil stains on the floor. Everything around him looked the same, yet his heart felt different. Sam locked the shop early that day. He walked home slowly, thinking about the call. When he reached his small house, Leo was sitting on the floor drawing cars with colored pencils. Leo looked up and smiled. Sam sat beside him and asked about school. Leo talked happily about a class project. Sam listened, but his mind kept returning to the phone call. That night, Sam could not sleep well. He worried that the call might be a joke or a mistake. He worried about leaving Leo alone if he had to travel. He worried about looking foolish in front of big engineers. Still, deep inside, there was a quiet hope he had not felt in years. The next morning, Sam received another call. This time, the voice explained clearly. Ferrari wanted Sam to visit their regional engineering center. They wanted to understand how he solved the problem without changing parts. They offered to pay for travel and accommodation. Sam agreed with a calm voice, even though his heart was racing. Sam arranged for his neighbor Mila to take care of Leo for a few days. Mila was kind and treated Leo like her own child. Sam packed a small bag with simple clothes. He did not own a suit. He did not try to buy one. He believed skill mattered more than appearance. When Sam arrived at the engineering center, he felt very small. The building was large and modern. The floors were clean and shiny. Engineers in neat clothes walked quickly with tablets in their hands. Sam held his bag tightly and followed the receptionist. Inside a meeting room, several engineers waited. Some looked curious. Some looked doubtful. A senior engineer named Daniel greeted Sam warmly. Daniel said they had studied the data and video many times. He said Sam had solved a problem that even experienced teams struggled with. Sam listened quietly. When asked how he did it, Sam explained in simple language. He spoke about listening to the engine. He spoke about balance and flow. He said machines behaved like people. If one small thing was stressed, the whole system reacted. The engineers listened carefully. Some nodded. Others took notes. They brought in a test engine with a similar issue. Sam rolled up his sleeves and began working. He asked for no special tools. He touched the engine, listened, and adjusted parts gently. The room was silent except for the sound of the engine. After some time, the problem was gone. The engineers looked at each other in amazement. Daniel smiled and said Sam had a rare gift. He said Sam understood engines in a way that could not be taught easily. While Sam was at the center, Victor sat in his office reading reports. He saw a note mentioning that Ferrari engineers were studying the repair done on his car. His curiosity grew. He remembered Sam's calm face and confident hands. For the first time, Victor felt a small sense of shame. Back at the engineering center, Daniel offered Sam a contract as a consultant. It was not a full-time job yet. They wanted to learn from him and document his methods. The pay was more than Sam had ever earned. Sam felt overwhelmed. He thought of Leo and the life he wanted to give him. Sam asked for time to think. Daniel respected that and said the offer would remain open. Sam left the building feeling light and heavy at the same time. When Sam returned home, Leo ran into his arms. Sam hugged him tightly. That evening, Sam told Leo that he might have a chance to work with people who made very fast cars. Leo's eyes widened with excitement. He said his dad was a hero. The next day, Victor decided to visit Sam's shop. He parked his car nearby and walked in quietly. Sam was working under a car and did not notice him at first. Victor watched for a moment. He saw the care and focus in Sam's movements. Victor cleared his throat. Sam looked up and recognized him. Victor felt awkward. He admitted that he had laughed before and said it was wrong. He said he had heard about Ferrari's interest. He congratulated Sam, though the words felt heavy in his mouth. Sam accepted the apology calmly. He did not boast. He did not judge. He simply said everyone made mistakes. Victor left the shop feeling changed. For the first time in a long while, he thought about respect rather than pride. Days passed. Ferrari sent documents. Sam read them slowly at night after Leo slept. He asked questions. He made sure the work would not take him too far from his son. Ferrari agreed to flexible arrangements. Sam signed the contract. News spread quietly among engineers and car experts. They spoke about a street mechanic with deep understanding. They called him a genius in private conversations. Sam continued to open his small shop every morning. He still fixed old cars. He still lived simply. But now, his life was moving in a new direction. He did not know how far this path would go. He only knew that his skills, built through hardship and love, were finally being valued. And somewhere in a Ferrari office, plans were being made that would soon bring Sam's quiet world into the spotlight. Sam's life slowly began to change, but not in a loud or sudden way. Every morning, he still opened his small shop at the same time. He still greeted customers with a calm smile. He still fixed old cars, family vans, and delivery trucks. The difference was that now, after his regular work, he spent evenings on video calls with Ferrari engineers. They asked questions. They listened. They learned. Sam never spoke like a teacher. He spoke like a man sharing experience. He explained how engines aged, how stress built up over time, and how small signs were often ignored. The engineers respected him more each day. They started writing guides based on his methods. They called it intuitive balance theory. Sam did not care about the name. He only cared that it helped people understand machines better. Leo noticed the change too. Sam was more relaxed. There was less worry in his eyes. Leo saw his father smile more often. One evening, Leo asked if they could visit the place where fast cars were made. Sam laughed softly and said maybe one day. That day came sooner than Sam expected. Ferrari invited Sam and Leo to visit their main facility. This time, Sam did not go alone. Leo held his hand tightly as they walked through the large building. Leo's eyes were full of wonder. He saw cars that looked like dreams. Engineers smiled at him and greeted Sam with respect. Daniel met them and showed Leo around. Leo asked many questions. Sam watched quietly, feeling proud. He never imagined his son would walk freely inside such a place. During the visit, Ferrari executives held a meeting. They discussed creating a new role for Sam. Not just a consultant, but a lead advisor for mechanical intuition. They believed his approach could improve reliability and reduce waste. They also believed his story inspired young engineers. Daniel shared the proposal with Sam. The offer included stable income, flexible hours, and the option to work partly from home. Sam listened carefully. He thought about Leo's future. He thought about his shop. He did not want to abandon the people who trusted him. Sam suggested a balance. He wanted to keep his shop open part-time. He wanted to continue helping local families. Ferrari agreed. They respected his values. News slowly reached the media. A few articles appeared online. They spoke about a single dad mechanic whose skills impressed Ferrari. People shared the story. Comments poured in. Many praised Sam's humility. Many said talent existed everywhere, not just in offices. Victor saw the news on his phone. He stared at the screen for a long time. He felt regret for his laughter that day. He decided to do something meaningful. Victor invested in a community program to support skilled workers from small backgrounds. He named it after his late mother, who taught him kindness before success changed him. He invited Sam to be an advisor. Sam agreed, as long as the focus stayed on real help. The program offered tools, training, and space to mechanics who could not afford them. Sam helped choose candidates. He taught them how to listen, not just replace parts. Many young workers found confidence through his guidance. Back at home, Sam's life felt fuller. Leo did better at school. Their home felt warmer. Sam no longer worried every night about bills. Still, he never forgot where he came from. One evening, Leo asked Sam why he never got angry when people laughed at him. Sam thought for a moment. He said anger wasted energy. He said skill spoke louder than words. Leo nodded, even if he did not fully understand. Months later, Ferrari invited Sam to speak at an internal event. Hundreds of engineers listened as Sam shared his journey. He spoke about his father, about struggle, and about patience. The room was silent. Many felt inspired. At the end of the event, Daniel called Sam a genius, not because he fixed a car, but because he stayed true to himself. The word spread quickly. This time, it was said with respect. Sam returned home that night and opened his shop the next morning like always. A small sign was added to the wall. It showed a simple photo of Sam and Leo standing beside an engine. Under it were the words "Skill grows where effort lives." People continued to come to Sam's shop. Some came for repairs. Some came for advice. Some just wanted to meet the man they read about. Sam treated everyone the same. Years later, Leo would remember those days clearly. He would remember how his father stayed humble even when the world noticed him. He would remember that success did not mean leaving others behind. And Sam would always remember the day a millionaire laughed at him, not with bitterness, but as the moment that proved quiet strength could change everything. Sam did not expect fame to feel so quiet. After the articles and the talks, there was no loud celebration in his life. There was only more work, more eyes watching, and more chances to choose the kind of person he wanted to be. He still wore the same simple clothes. He still drank tea from the same chipped cup. He still opened his shop and swept the floor before customers arrived. But the city around him had started to change its attitude. People who once walked past his shop without notice now slowed down to look at the sign. Some customers came with expensive cars, not because their cars needed help, but because they wanted to test the story. They wanted to see if a man like Sam truly existed. Sam understood that curiosity could be kind or cruel. Some visitors were respectful. Others carried doubt in their eyes, as if they expected Sam to fail so they could feel better about themselves. Sam did not argue with anyone. He simply worked. One morning, a young man named Rafi entered the shop. Rafi looked nervous. His shoes were dusty and his hands shook a little when he spoke. He said he had been rejected by many workshops because he had no certificates. He had only learned from helping his uncle. He asked Sam if he could work for free, just to learn. Sam watched him carefully. Sam had seen many people who wanted quick success. But Rafi's eyes looked honest. Sam told him to start by cleaning tools and organizing parts. Rafi agreed quickly and began working without complaint. Leo, now a little older and more confident, liked visiting the shop after school. He sat near the corner with homework and listened to conversations. He watched his father teach Rafi in simple ways. Sam never shouted. If Rafi made a mistake, Sam corrected it calmly, then asked him to try again. Over time, Rafi started to understand what Sam meant by listening to an engine like a living thing. Ferrari's program also grew. The community workshop Victor funded opened in a larger space. It had proper lights, clean floors, and new tools. It welcomed people who had skill but no chance. Sam visited twice a week. He did not act like a boss. He acted like a guide. Victor came sometimes too, but he stayed in the background. He no longer liked attention. He watched quietly as young mechanics learned. He looked different now. His suit was still expensive, but his face was softer, like he had finally learned to breathe. One day, Ferrari sent an urgent request to Sam. They had a prototype test car that kept failing in a strange way. The data did not match any common problem. Their engineers were confused. They asked Sam to visit for 2 days. Sam felt that old fear rise again. The place was still big. The people were still highly trained. But he also remembered that he had done difficult things before. He told Leo he would be gone for 2 days. Leo smiled and told him to solve it like always. At the facility, Daniel and the team welcomed Sam. They led him to a testing area. The prototype engine ran well for a few minutes, then suddenly lost power. It did not make sense. Sam did not touch anything at first. He only listened and watched. After several tests, Sam noticed something small. The problem happened only when the engine warmed up and only after a certain type of vibration. He asked the team to show him the mounting structure and the airflow path. The engineers looked surprised because they had focused mostly on software readings. Sam traced the airflow with his hand, feeling where heat moved. He tapped lightly on a pipe and listened to the sound. Then he asked for a different material support, a simple change to reduce heat transfer at one point. It was not fancy. It was not expensive. It was just smart. The engineers made the adjustment. They tested the car again. This time, it ran smoothly, even under stress. People in the room cheered quietly, not like a crowd at a show, but like professionals who had just seen something important. Daniel shook Sam's hand and thanked him. That evening, Ferrari executives offered Sam a new title and a larger salary. Sam listened, but he did not jump with excitement. He asked what the role would require. They explained international travel, long hours, and public appearances. Sam looked down for a moment and thought of Leo. He thought of the shop. He thought of the community workshop. He could take the offer and become a global name. But he knew fame could pull him away from the life he valued. He asked for an option to keep his schedule flexible, to travel only when truly needed. The executives exchanged looks. Some were unsure. Then Daniel spoke up. He said this was why Sam mattered. He said Sam's strength came from his grounded life, not from chasing titles. After a long discussion, Ferrari agreed. Sam returned home with relief. He did not feel like he won something big. He felt like he protected what mattered. The next weeks brought a new kind of pressure. A popular car influencer wanted to film a video at Sam's shop. The influencer offered money and promised millions of views. Mila told Sam it could help his business. Rafi looked excited. Even Leo wondered what it would be like. Sam thought carefully. He did not want the shop to become a stage. He did not want customers to feel like they were in a show. Still, he knew attention could help the community program and help young mechanics get chances. Sam agreed to a simple rule. No loud tricks. No disrespect. No staged drama. Just real work and real learning. On the filming day, the influencer arrived with cameras and bright lights. The shop felt smaller than usual. Sam stayed calm. He asked them to keep pathways clear. He asked them to respect customers who did not want to be on camera. The influencer started by telling the story of the Millionaire CEO laughing at Sam. The influencer tried to make it sound like a big fight. Sam corrected him gently. He said there was no fight. He said there was only a problem and a solution. The influencer looked confused, then smiled and said that was even better. During the filming, a woman arrived with an old car. She said the car belonged to her late father and she wanted to keep it running. She did not have much money. The influencer suggested they film something more exciting, like a sports car. Sam shook his head. He said this car mattered. He said every car mattered if it carried someone's life. Sam fixed the woman's car carefully. He explained each step in simple words. He showed how small changes could save bigger costs. The woman's eyes filled with gratitude, not because Sam was famous, but because he treated her with respect. That video became popular for a reason no one expected. It was not because of speed or luxury. It was because people saw honesty. They saw skill mixed with kindness. Comments came from all over. People wrote that they were tired of arrogance. They were happy to see a man who worked with heart. More young people applied to the community workshop. Victor increased funding, but he asked Sam to control how it was used. Sam made sure it went into tools, safety, and training. He also set a rule that no one would be laughed at for being poor, uneducated, or new. Rafi improved quickly. One day, Sam handed him a difficult job and watched silently. Rafi listened to the engine, adjusted parts, and solved the issue without panic. When he finished, he looked at Sam like a child waiting for approval. Sam nodded once and smiled. That one smile meant more than any loud praise. Leo also changed. At school, he began helping classmates with projects. He became patient. Teachers noticed his calm nature. He told them his father said anger wasted energy. His classmates started calling him wise, and Leo found it funny. Months passed. Then one morning, a familiar sound stopped outside the shop. Victor's red sports car was there again, but Victor looked different. He was not dressed like a king. He wore simple clothes and carried a small box. He walked in and placed the box on Sam's work table. Inside was an old photograph in a frame. It showed Victor's mother standing beside a small repair shop long ago. Victor said his mother grew up near a workshop like Sam's. She respected people who worked with their hands. Victor said he forgot that respect when he became powerful. He thanked Sam for reminding him. Sam did not know what to say. He simply thanked Victor for coming and told him the community workshop was helping many people. Victor nodded and said he wanted to keep it that way. That evening, after closing the shop, Sam sat with Leo on the front steps of their home. The air was cool. The street was quiet. Leo asked Sam if he felt like a hero now. Sam smiled softly and said he did not feel like a hero. He said he felt like a father who kept going. He said the world could laugh or praise, but a person had to choose what kind of heart to carry. Leo leaned his head on Sam's shoulder. He said he wanted to be like him. Sam looked at the sky and felt a deep peace he had not known for years. The next day, Sam returned to his shop like always. He unlocked the door, swept the floor, and prepared his tools. Nothing looked glamorous. Nothing looked like a movie. But the truth was powerful. A single dad who once struggled to survive had become someone who changed lives, not because he chased revenge or attention, but because he stayed patient, skilled, and kind. And in that quiet little shop on a busy road, the sound of engines continued to tell their stories, while Sam listened, understood, and fixed what others could not see.